Sure.
from everyone. So really I'll take it from there once we get that. But I feel like for my part, I'm in a good place.
Good. That's what I want to hear. As I said, Josh and we'll look at what comes in from the different pieces this week and build our benchmarking off of that. As I say, we have the benchmarking that we had already done that we could use as a start. But I want to refine it to the refined plans that we're putting into the final draft. But that's great, Jeff. That's perfect timing. So we should be set there. Josh, how's your calendar your calendar look for next week?
I don't anticipate having to work late any days next week. I mean, something could pop up unexpectedly, but
Sure.
next weekend I might be not around, but during the week, I should be available.
Okay.
And
I'll see if I can put something on the books for us, and I'll CC in Ed for during the week. I'll just throw out some dates and see what works. And with the email that I sent, I'll try and bring him up to speed with what we talk about here, because he should see the drafts that people submit. What I'd say is, when you send in a draft, make sure you CC'd in the whole group. And certainly Jess. And then we'll go from there as far as feedback back and forth. The main concern I have, and this is because of me, I'll take the full hit for this. I'm not going, as I said in meetings prior, I'm not going to be here from basically June 25th through July 3rd. I'll be coming back July 3rd. I'll be in a completely different time zone, like 6 hours off from where we are here. I will be checking email if I can get internet there, which I think I can. But as far as phone or anything else, I will not be able to be contacted. If it's an emergency and you run into a problem, definitely drop me an email, because I will be trying to check that each day. My goal, if we can manage it, is to have the final draft done before I leave, which would be great. But I'm not going to sacrifice quality because I have to leave on the 25th. The bottom line is, this is our final report. We want to be the best that it can be. And if that takes us a week more, then you know what? I don't think the world's going to fall apart if we get it in the first week of July. So, don't make yourself nuts. This is volunteer, and definitely, I know the city and myself appreciate everything that you've been doing to make this happen. We've had a lot of fits and starts and changing hands and changing bodies, but this core crew has been here through it all. And I have absolute faith that working as we can get this done. And in a way that is consistent with the goals that we've aspired to since day one. That's really the bottom line for me. Is this consistent with what we all agreed was the vision that we wanted to pursue, large pig, I mean, in a large sense, for the city? That we can say, yes, we support this, and here are the things that you can use to make that happen, which is availability to all citizens, regardless of income, regardless of access. Let's make sure it's there.
Yeah, I like this path that we've taken since our preliminary.
Yeah.
Like when you came up with that concept, what was it, back in December or January?
Yep.
To actually go with this type of concept, I think it's more cohesive.
Yeah, and I think it's a good stepped approach to get us to where we want to be. I mean, the bottom line is, first we have to train the mindset of, okay, how do we think about it? What's the basic structure the city needs to put in place to make this happen? This gives us an incremental way of getting there. So yeah, I think, I feel good about this approach. Not just because I thought of it, but because, well, I shouldn't say that. I put the pieces
I
together
think that, yeah, I think we all
based on
feel
what
the
we
same.
had. No, based on what we all said. This is what I said, and we all agreed with it, which is nice. But definitely all of you is what is going to put is going to put flesh on that skeleton. So, and that's what it was. It was just an outline. You're making it real. And that is to your credit. Believe me. So I am very glad that this is happening. Does anyone have any questions about the sections that they're working on or anything that they'd like to share? Anyone that wants to start can. Jeff, no? Diana?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Martin?
I will say, as I'm looking at it again, there's actually one part that I forgot to add in that section, and that was like, the suggested salary amounts. So I will probably send out another email like later tonight, with that information.
Say that's fine. That'll actually help Josh and I too when we're doing the benchmarking, so we could do comparisons to salaries if that's available with the communities that we look at. So that'll be one more piece that we can say, yes, this is consistent with what we're seeing across places that have done the same type of approach. And that would support the city if they want to seek funds from the state or from anywhere else to support the creation of that, or to make a case as part of their budget presentations this fall. That's the other great thing about this. By getting this to them now, they start the budget. They start the development of the budget of the budget presentations basically in middle of July and on. Then they present Then they present them to the common council during the month of October. So by getting this to them now, they can build this into those presentations. So we may be able to really hit the ground running with this, especially with this type of approach. Certainly they've seen success by doing it with the sustainability coordinator, and now the new neighborhoods coordinator, which seems to be going well. So this would be the next step in that sort of approach. And the community involvement piece, Jeff will fit in really well with that as well. Well, both Jeff and Diana. So to me, I think the administration support for it will likely be strong if we can make a decent case.
I feel so too, because we're mirroring what is already existing and in place.
Yeah.
So, less fear of it being the idea dismissed or rejected.
Right.
Yeah, because we're not reinventing the wheel.
Right. And I mean, that's the key thing here. We're just using that wheel in a different way. And I think that, the concept is most certainly one that's been proven, which I think is key. It not only has it been proven in different places, it's been proven here. It just hasn't been used for this yet. So that I think will help us along. And I think the important thing too, it doesn't place, by doing this, we're not placing added strain on the resources, the IT resources that the city has now, which already have a very full plate, as we heard from Mark, and as we know from talking to Jeff and from Luke. So to me, we're creating this sort of parallel group that can work with Mark and that group to make this happen without adding to the workload that he and his staff already have, which I think is critical. What they do is very important, but it's different from this. They're internally focused. This would be externally focused. So I think that's a key point that we want to reinforce as well. I think that's what I had. Josh, did you want to add anything in?
Nope, I'm all set. I'm excited to see everyone's parts, and
Yeah,
try to get some benchmarks from there. But I think everyone's doing a great job.
I have to admit, this is the part that has me pretty fired up, and I can use that right now, to be honest. So, I think that let's see how the next week goes. The one thing I did tell Brian, and I think you all saw that in the email, is if there's a date and a time that works better for him, that works for us as well. Let's try and make that happen. He has very, very valuable knowledge, very valuable experience. And if we can work around things so that he can attend and feel that he's fully a part of this,
Of course, right.
I think that's important too. Because he has provided some very valuable feedback to us along the past year, and we'll certainly work that into the final report. But let's see what we can do to work with them on that. And that's true for any of you. If you find that that meeting on this night and time is a problem or a challenge for you, let Jess and I know, and work things out with the group and come up with a date and time that works for us. I mean, this close to the end, we don't want to have people not be able to take part now. All right, so that's what I've got. Jeff, do you have anything more that you want to add, or any questions that you wanted to raise?
Sorry, did you say Jeff or Jess?
Jeff.
No, I think I'm all set. Thank you, everyone, for your work on your separate parts, and just keeping this thing moving, especially, since I've haven't been at the last couple meetings. So thank you, Craig, for all your work leading us as well.
Glad that it would help to have a great group to work with. Jess, did you have anything that you want to add? Because you've been here through all of this too.
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right. If no one has anything else to raise, we can wrap this for right now and go back to working on our pieces or anything else that your life requires. If you have any questions, any concerns, please get in touch with me at any time. I am working on editing right now, and I could really use a break from editing. So I'll be more than pleased to help in any way that I can. All right, folks. If that's it, we can't do a motion to close, right, Jess? Because that's not allowed at this moment. We'll just say if there's nothing more, then we'll wrap the meeting up.